Hey guys, my name is Kat Kerr, and today I'm working on the new mixed media journal by Grafix. Now this journal truly is unique. It comes with two pieces of each substrate. It comes with two pieces of clear craft plastic, two pieces of matte Duralar film. It also includes wet media Duralar, as well as white craft plastic, and two pieces of the black craft plastic, as well as two pieces of natural chipboard for the cover. Now I knew going into this that I wanted each page to flow into the next, and so I'm starting off with this matte Duralar film, and I just created this design with a pencil and then I cut it out. I then added some acrylic paint, and once that dried, I used a black china pencil to just add some additional texture. Now again, I really want one page to lead into the next, and so I'm going to use this first page as a guide, and I'm just tracing it onto a piece of black craft plastic, and then I'll cut it out with a pair of scissors. Next up, I add all of the discs to the two pages that I've already created, and I do this early on because I want to make sure that all of my pages are lining up correctly. I do some mark making with a white china pencil, as well as adding a clear craft plastic sheet. Again, I'm going to use that page before it as a guide, and so I just traced the inside of that page, and then I added some acrylic paint, and then I'm going to add this design to the clear craft plastic, but I'm being very mindful. I don't want to cover the entire page because I love that it's transparent, and I'm going to use that transparent element to lead into the next page. Next, I took a solvent-based ink and I stamped this image onto the two pieces of wet media Duralar. Now for these two pages, again, I wanted to highlight the transparency, and so one of the great things about wet media Duralar is that it is transparent, but that you can also use any wet media. So here I'm using acrylic paint, but you can also use markers or even watercolor. And I end up letting this paint dry, and then once it dries, I take a metal awl and I just kind of scrape into the acrylic paint, and that removes some of it, highlighting what is going to be on the next page, and I really do like that. And for this one, again, I just add some acrylic paint and then I scratch it with the awl, but then I also use just acrylic markers to add design elements to the rest of the page. Next up, I'm working on this white opaque craft plastic, and it's not transparent, but I still decided to add these holes using a paper punch just so I can see into the next page. And I added some color using some acrylic inks as well as some rubbing alcohol. Now I like the way that yellow acrylic ink looked on one side, and so I decided to add it completely to the page behind it, and I just cut the edges into like a zigzag pattern just for some interest, and again so that you could see the page behind it. Here I'm just using some acrylic ink and markers to add some interest to this page, and I end up cutting out the center as well. Now for this last page, I wanted to try cutting through the craft plastic with my Cricut maker, and so I added this text, but when I removed it from the cutter, it did not cut all the way through. But I still kind of liked it. I decided to add some acrylic paint, and it would sink into the crevices of where the machine cut, highlighting the text. And so I added the paint and then I wiped it off using a cloth, and it highlighted the letters, and I do like the way it looked. It looked a little grungy. I then added some splatters of paint, but it still needed a transparent or see-through element, and so I ended up cutting some of the letters out in order to have that peek through. Now I'll also add that later on I decided to try cutting that craft plastic again, and here's a piece of craft plastic that's been painted, and I ran it through the machine again, just adjusting the settings a little bit, and it worked perfectly fine. Now for the front and back cover, the chipboard pieces, I simply added some acrylic paint, and here's a complete flip through of the journal. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and for the complete list of materials, make sure you check out that description below. And for more ideas using this new mixed media journal, make sure you check out grafixarts.com. Thanks for watching.